back, y'all. I just wanted to come back on here real quick and tell y'all, put your dudes down. Stop fighting people. Stop fighting in the flesh, because when you fight in the flesh, even if you beat them up, you know what I'm saying, you weren't even in the wrong, you still ain't winning, because we're not fighting against flesh and blood, y'all. We fighting against evil spirits and principalities. Excuse me, we're fighting against evil spirits and principalities. So know that, like I always tell y'all, God fight your battles for you. You got to fight in the spirit, because we're fighting spirits. It's not that person, it's the spirit behind that person. I wrote down a note. It say, know that it is not the person, but it is the spirit behind the person. For we do not fight between flesh and blood, but evil spirits and principalities, y'all. You know, so know that it's not the person that you fighting against. It's evil spirits that's behind that person. And I got to say this. Sometimes the devil and his henchmen can be using people and they don't even know it. That's sad. To be getting used by the devil and you don't even know you're being used. So that's why you got to really follow God, because you know, when you're being used by the Lord gonna let you know you've been used. You know you're being used, because you are a willing vessel. But when you're not following Christ, you're a willing vessel for the enemy. You're a willing vessel for the devil, so they can just jump in you. You know? So just know, when you follow Christ, you got a hedge of protection around you. And he fights your battles for you. Stay praying. Stay prayed up. That is the way to fight your battles, y'all. So that's all I wanted to say. Let y'all know that we're not fighting against flesh and blood, but evil spirits and principalities. So y'all have a blessed day. Deuces. Know that God love you. I love you too, but he loved you first. And put your deuce down. Hang them boxing gloves up. And pull out your Bible. And go to your secret dwelling place and pray. And watch how God handle your battle for you. Listen, I just want to say this before I go. When I used to be out there in the world and straddling the fence, one foot in and one foot out, you know, God always had a hedge of protection around me. He always protected me from my enemies. You know, even when I wasn't even being good to myself, God was always good to me. I got to say that, because you know, I could be dead and gone right now for what the enemy tried to do, because you know, the enemy knew who I was before I knew who I was. So y'all don't let the enemy know who you is, and you don't know who you is. But anyway, well, I used to be like, I ain't gonna even worry about it. I'm gonna leave it in God's hand. I'm gonna let God handle them, and I pray on it. You know that the way God fight my battles, I would have never thought to fight my battles like that. The things that God did to those peoples, I wouldn't have never, ever just had a simple thought of retaliating like that. I wouldn't have never been able